to get us out of here. Stay close.
Wait. We all know they can shapeshift. If you are John, prove it.
Sarah! No, she's right, Kyle. Lesson 1, trust no one. I remember. During the Nacogdoches offensive, I gave you something. It was a photograph of Sarah as she is now. No one saw me do it. We were alone. You hate lullabies. You're a sucker for Elton John. And you always thought if you had a child, you'd sing him Rocket Man.
John?
It's him. Has to be.
How can you be here?
I have a million questions to ask you, too.
No, it's okay. He's with me. What are you doing?
John, no.
It's not John.
So Sarah Connor and Kyle Reese was just deceived into believing that this guy was her son, John Connor, who is playing Jesus Christ.
Anyway, that's the kind of man your son was. Is. Will be Jesus. Will be Jesus. Will be Jesus.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 4 through 5. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
What do you want with us?
I'm offering us a future. Together. A family.
If we refuse?
Then you die.
Page 23. Muslims believe that Jesus will return. Remember, they say he never died, but was caught up to heaven by Allah, where he's being held even now. They say Allah will send him back down to earth in the final 7 years, and he'll declare to all one of two things: that he lied to everyone about being Allah's son, or 2, that everyone misinterpreted what he said, and that he never claimed to be Allah's son. This Jesus will then go on to declare that Islam is the way, the truth, and the life, and he will then admonish all Christians to convert or face the consequences. Afterwards, he and the Mahdi will team up and systematically kill all the Jews in the world, and force everyone else to convert to Islam or die by the sword.
If we refuse?
Then you die.
Here then is the true religious identity and lineage of the Antichrist, the false prophet, and the beast, which is the final world empire. They will all be Islamic. Islam will not just have a role in the tribulation, but will lead the role here on earth. Page 70. Muslims are very fond of using Jesus as an evangelistic tool among Christians. Numerous Muslim books extol the greatness of Jesus and express a deep love for him. One Muslim website even proclaims that Jesus led me to Islam. Muslims use Jesus as the Lord to draw Christians in order to convince them of the truth of Islam. But the advertised Jesus of Islam differs greatly from the Muslim Jesus, who comes to reveal his true identity as the most radical of fundamentalist Muslims. The Jesus who returns in Muslim tradition makes Osama bin Laden look like a novice. He is pictured as coming to establish Islamic law across the face of the planet and legalize the execution of anyone who refuses to convert to Islam. He is pictured as leading the army that will slaughter tens of thousands of Jews set to follow the Dajjal. If ever such a person existed who could rightly be described as a beast, then surely the Muslim Jesus is such a man.
You can fight with me, Kyle. Like we always have. There's a storm coming and it won't be stopped.
But it has to be. You know what will happen. You better than anyone.
I can't be bargained with. Can't be reasoned with.
John, please.
I don't feel pity or remorse or fear.
John, please!
And I absolutely will not stop ever until Skynet rules this world.
Page 133. The Bible teaches that the Antichrist will strive for complete world domination. The Apostle John informs us that in the last days, power will be given to him over all peoples and tongues and nations. This is confirmed by Jewish tradition as well. He will deceive the whole world into believing that he is God and will reign over the entire world. What the Bible warns us of is exactly what Islam is. The renowned Muslim scholar, whatever his name is, from the Indian subcontinent stated, Islam is not a normal religion like the other religions in the world. The Muslim nations are not like normal nations. Muslim nations are very special because they have a command from Allah to rule the entire world and to be over every nation in the world. Islam is a revolutionary faith that comes to destroy any government made by man. Islam doesn't look for a nation to be in a better condition than another nation. Islam doesn't care about the land or who owns the land. The goal of Islam is to rule the entire world.
I absolutely will not stop ever until Skynet rules this world.
And to submit all mankind to the faith of Islam. Any nation or power that gets in the way of that goal, Islam will fight and destroy.
I can't be bargained with. Can't be reasoned with.
In order to fulfill that goal, Islam can use every power available, every way it can be used to bring worldwide revolution. This is jihad. Page 106. So what motivates Muslims to fight and risk death? Simply, jihadism is a message of salvation. For one to die in the cause of Allah is assurance of salvation and entry into paradise. It's a corruption of Christian dogma. The difference is that it's the shaheed, martyr, who now can atone for his own sins. Therefore, dying in jihad is the ultimate way to transit one's soul instantly to paradise. Salvation, as understood in the Christian perspective, is only through the death of one perfect man, Jesus Christ. In Islam, the idea of Christ dying for all humanity is rejected. In fact, this rejection is one of the main reasons Islam was founded. Islam considers this doctrine to be the corruption of the original faith and views itself as the restoration of that original faith. Yet, Islam does not retain a measure of Christianity's ideas of salvation. That atonement is accomplished by death. However, the big difference is that in Islam, it's not the death of Christ that entitles you to heaven, but your own. So important is this concept that a shaheed in Islam can be an intercessor for 70 members of his or her family. Without this jihad-style death, you better obtain enough merit to outweigh your sins so that you'll go to paradise. This is a dilemma that confounds all Muslims. The similarity in understanding this salvation is interesting. A suicide martyr is called fidah, from the source word fidyah, sacrificial lamb, as used in the Christian creed. And the best way for one to assure this salvation is to die in jihad. Scriptures have been given to Jews and Christians, and throughout the entire Quran they're called the people of the book. The Quran commands Muslims, O Prophet, strive hard against the disbelievers and the hypocrites, and be harsh against them. O you who believe, fight those of the disbelievers who are close to you, and let them find harshness in you, and know that Allah is with those who are the pious. Kill the disbelievers wherever you find them. Slay or crucify or cut off the hands and feet of the unbelievers, that they may be expelled from the land with disgrace, and that they shall have a great punishment in the world hereafter. Strike off the heads of the disbelievers, and after making a great slaughter among them, carefully tie up the remaining captives.
Most of us were rounded up, put in camps for orderly disposal, spurned by laser scan.
This hatred that is built into Islam stems from the deceptive satanic instructions propagated in Islam. Yet in the West, Islamic movements hide this violence by propagating the notion that Islam means peace. The Bible warns that whoever hides his hatred has lying lips.